Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Blue Ridge Silverhound. Hope everyone's having a great morning so far. I have some pretty big news. So I was sitting at the computer doing some work, and I came across an email that came through the wire, and this is a coin I thought I would never see in my lifetime being sold on auction, and this is one of the U.S. Mint's most controversial coins, okay? Probably not so much the U.S. Mint as it is one of the most controversial coins to own. And you need to know exactly what's happening here in the event that you come across one. I wanted to get this out there because my neighbor is going to be cutting down a tree, so it might get pretty loud and ridiculous here in the next probably 10 minutes. So I wanted to throw this in there. So Goldberg Auctions, okay? If you want to follow along, the website's goldbergcoins.com. They're an auction service that's been around for a long time that is owned by Ira and Larry Goldberg, okay? They're one of the more prominent numismatists in the community that have been doing it for many, many years. And, they just put up on their pre-Long Beach auction, that's what they call it, a 1959D Mule Lincoln Cent. So it's gonna, as you guys know, in 1959, they switched over from the wheat ears reverse to the Lincoln Memorial designed back on them. So they have one example that they're putting up for sale with a conservative estimate of $50,000. There's a few things you need to know about this coin because, first and foremost, it's not even graded. I think this is one of the coins that PCGS, NGC, those grading companies will not touch because of the fact that it is a controversial coin that, should never have existed. And this is a lot of money. This is a lot of money, by the way, for a raw coin. It really remains to be seen the legitimacy of the coin itself. Some of you are probably going to say, well, if it's a controversial, coin with a lot of, shady history, then maybe, it's a fake. As we all know, okay, the U.S. Mint can partake in backdoor shenanigans, all right, like we've discussed previously, but what's the likelihood that something like this will come up for sale? I don't know. I really don't know. And is 50,000 too small of a number for a coin? Again, another unknown. Another coin, which is extremely rare, but is a legitimate variety. This is not an error or a mule. It's the 1958 doubled die Lincoln Cent. Okay, one of which that has sold here in the last, I think, year or so, because I did a video on it. It sold for $338,000. If the U.S. Mint were to kind of legitimize this coin as being, one of their products that was made in error, then the grading companies can grade it, and this coin might even be worth more than the double to die. So this particular auction listing right here might play some huge ramifications for a possible investigation by the U.S. Mint. Hopefully this coin never gets confiscated. That's the one thing that we're kind of like trying to just, quell here. But I don't know. The U.S. Mint definitely needs to take a second look at the legitimacy of the 1959 mule. By the way, I'm going to throw a picture down somewhere down here of the coin. And so the coin grades out raw as a Mint State 60. So that's how they have it on here. And let's see. So I'm reading down the description in the listing, and it is unique. I don't know if it's unique in the sense that there's only one in existence. I've heard about a few of these being made. So The coin has created quite a bit of controversy in the past. This is, by the way, verbatim on the description. You guys can read it for yourself. And it's time the allegations and innuendo get laid to rest. For some reason, the few independent grading services who have examined this coin can't seem to decide on its genuine status, although no one can define any reason to consider it counterfeit. They also won't render an opinion to support the coin as a genuine mint product. Hence, the opinions of most remain that no decision can be made on the coin unless further tests are concluded. All right, so it's not a matter of the grading companies doing the tests. It's been known and done before that people have sent coins that have questionable authenticity back to the mint. So here's where the risk lies. Okay, you send something like this back to the US Mint for them to do their investigation. That coin may never come back. And it could be lost forever. It could go into a vault. It could, sometimes they'll end up in the Smithsonian. It's kind of like the case of the 1933 St. Gaudens 20 gold pieces, $20 gold pieces, rather, that they had confiscated. I don't know if they got custody back of those coins, the original owner. They had 16 of them. So I guess they're not super rare anymore, but there is a lot of risk involved. People before have sent off 1943 copper pennies and 1944 zinc coins back to the mint, and they have come back as being genuine. Okay, they'll draft out a letter and say, "Oh yeah, here we go. It's all good. This is our mistake. Oh, sorry." And then at that time you could go and grade it. At the time they were kind of like on the fence about grading. I don't know if this was like in the 70s or 80s or something like that, but that's when what's his face? David Hall, one of the old guys in the hobby, had his own grading services before it became PCGS. I don't know if you guys knew that, but he had it in a little 2x2 plastic flipperoo, and that was the early days of grading there. But this coin right here, now let's talk a little bit about it. They're going to obviously go through with the auction. Someone's going to buy it. Someone is going to pay a insane amount of money. How do I know? The starting bid is $35,000. Okay, it's not chump change at all. Okay, someone at the very minimum is going to pay that kind of money. So someone will pay that kind of money, and that's it. Sale is done, confirmed sale, whatever. So in the kind of like lottery world of really long odds, what happens if you found one in a bag of coins, bag of Lincoln wheat cents? What if you found one coin roll hunting? I know it seems very impossible because there's only like a couple of these that do exist, but what do? Well, I'm happy to say that because there is an actual physical listing now of this mule error, that I would just go and consign it back to Goldberg Auctions. Okay, they'll sell it raw and you'll get X amount of dollars for it. That is the only reasonable suggestion I would have when it comes to actually identifying the coin and then sending it off to someone, because PCGS and GC will not grade it at all. And then now all of a sudden you have one coin that is sold in the past, and it is hit a certain kind of like meniscus, the point in which it's worth however much it's worth. And then, depending on grade, it'll, fall somewhere, above that or below that. This one, I could say without question, looks to be a mint state brown, as you guys see in the video. I would actually go on record by saying it could possibly be like an AU 58. I feel like there's probably a little bit of wear, but don't discount the fact that it's brown to dissuade anybody of saying, oh yeah, indefinitely this thing is circulated, because it's awfully close. Because there could be mint state coins that are full brown, like mint state 65. Okay, copper oxidizes really fast and really quick, like nothing else. But this is a very interesting coin. Just kind of reading up and down what I see here. The first one was discovered in 1986. Well, this particular example, I guess, a retired police officer named Leon Baller, right? I guess he's a shot caller now. Advertised in his local Walnut Creek, California newspaper that he would purchase rare and unusual coins. Okay, a local coin collector saw the ad, and guess what? He had this 1959 D wheat reverse cent, and Baller ended up purchasing the coin for $1,500. Now, here's an interesting part. Okay, this is the part that I wanted to see and testify to. Baller sent the coin to the United States Department of the Treasury for authentication in early 1987. Jim Brown, a forensic lab authenticator for the Department of the Treasury, examined the coin and found no indication that it was counterfeit. The coin was returned to Baller on February 7, 1986, with a signed letter by Richard M. McDrew, special agent for the Department of the Treasury. The letter states as follows, and then you guys will have to go onto Goldberg Coins' website to actually read the entire letter because it's quite lengthy. If anything, it's funny because if anything, this will implicate Mint employees that were found to partake in this practice of creating mules. It's so funny. I'm like, come on, guys, really? Yeah, you guys know that they do backdoor shenanigans all the time. I mean, what's the big deal? I know that it's a big deal because that now the U.S. Mint has thrown out West Point quarters as a intentional circulation rarity. I know it's kind of like night and day, but yeah, there is a lot to this auction listing in terms of the overall description factor that you guys need to check out. The last sale was in 2003. There you go. It sold for $48,300. Because of the genuine nature of such a coin and the kind of the story and the intrigue with something of owning like this, I don't think it's going to hit $50,000 at all. It might even double that because we're talking 16 years ago. It sold for almost $50,000. There are a lot more collectors today, and all you have to do is get like a couple like deep pockets people in the room at the time of the actual bidding process, and you can see this thing jump up to six figures real easily. But all in all, this is a really neat coin. It's no wonder I haven't seen one because the last sale was 16 years ago. But go ahead and check it out. Go ahead and follow the auction. June 2nd is when the actual kind of like the auction will begin on all of their coins for the pre Long Beach sale. Should be interesting to see. I'll probably update you guys sometime in the future regarding how much this coin sells for, and probably on a Monday market report. Should be interesting. You guys have a wonderful day. Feel free to subscribe and don't forget to hit the bell for instant notifications. I'll be doing giveaways all summer long. Should be a lot of fun. Yeah, time to heat up, man. Ooh. And time to get going. Keep hunting, keep collecting. We're discovering together. And yeah, feel free to share, subscribe, and comment away. I would love to hear what you guys think about this. See ya.